Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And you know, one of the things we do, we tell everybody, call us all the time, 800-808-5548. We are a live show, so you can call, talk, have a good time. And we actually have a caller right now, Nina, who has a question. Nina, how you doing?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Nina.
Thank you for putting the show on. I was wondering if you could tell us, for a lot of people that live inside the loop and are thinking about selling, how the real estate agencies and the realtors in particular can help us to sell, where you may be seeing people saying that things are selling like hotcakes. How can you help the seller so that we really want to go with a particular real estate agency or an agent at all?
Oh, that's a really good question, Nina. You know, I think when you're talking to real estate agents, trying to pick the right realtor, the most important thing is to find somebody that you feel comfortable with, who can provide the service that you're looking for. And one of the things that I provide for my clients is that I have a great network of other agents that I work with. So we do pre-marketing before we even list your property. There's a buzz around it. And what that does, it really increases the value of your home. It overall increases your bottom line.
Well, that's good. So that there seems to be an advertisement before even it gets to the main HAR website.
Absolutely. And it's released company-wide. You would release to agents in that area. And if you're a really good agent, you're doing your job, you're networking, then you know who to call. You know who sells in that area. And definitely you're reaching out to them in advance, creating that buzz around the property. So day 1, day 2, day 3 on the market, you have 10 offers.
I see. So the money you may use in commission, you're actually getting back just because of the advertisement.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you know, they did a National Associations of Realtors statistical report, and they found out that people who listed with realtors ended up getting 17% more by listing it than trying to sell it on their own. So, again, and right now you're getting into a fever of offers. And so often you're getting an over-list price in a lot of cases.
And that's not just Interloop, that's Memorial, that would be Katy. Katy's one of the hottest markets. Pearland's hot. Woodlands, of course, with ExxonMobil moving in. So it's not just Interloop, but definitely there's a special service that the Interloop agents provide to our clients, and that is knowing all the other agents. It's huge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you, Nina.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you very much for calling in. You know, and that's a very good point. You know, a little story I tell everybody is this did not happen in Houston. This happened to a client of mine who moved out of Houston, went to another area up on the north side of town, on the north side of Texas, did a for sale by owner. They get through the process of the inspection. Ends up that part of the reason why the for sale by owner wanted to sell was because they wanted to save more money, is quote unquote. What they didn't disclose is all the repairs and foundation issues that would have been discovered, and then that an agent, and part of the reason why they couldn't get an agent, because the agent kept saying is, you have to repair these because it's going to be discovered, right? So I hate to say it, sometimes there's a percentage of people who also use it as a tool to say, maybe I can get around and find somebody else who won't discover it. You know, that's why it's important to have representation.
You know, we've had a lot of different guests, a lot of different, in different walks of life. We've had attorneys, things like that, but we always have one common message. Hire a professional.
That is correct.
Period. And
Every
you know
time.
what? You would not go do your own heart surgery. Which is kind of an interesting segue over to Larry W. Brooks
Exactly.
here.
Speaking of heart, for an agent who's really got heart,
I like it.
He's got a great heart. He's got a great heart.
Yeah, I've known Larry. I've
All the love to you. All the love to you, buddy.
Thank you. I like that. That looks good.
Yeah.
don't try this at home. We are professionals.
Yes. And trust me, they're not going to try this at home. I'm not doing that. I've known Larry probably, I guess, 6-7 years. Ever since you've kind of started your business, can talk about the genesis of, I always want to call it Brooks and Dunn, but it's Brooks and Davis.
So exactly how did you get into country music?
And talk about where you started, how you started your company, and kind of give us that background.
We'll go into the company. I've been in real estate over 12 years myself. I got into it much like Hillary, right? It was my first career. So I've done it since I was a junior in college. I kind of got in on the mortgage side. After school, rolled into the real estate aspect of it. Approximately 6 years ago, me and my business partner, which is the Davis and Brooks and Davis, found an area that we could build a boutique firm to service the Houston and Harris County area and be very successful at it. And so with that journey, it was right when the market was really getting destroyed. And so me and Mr. Davis had a few conversations. We had always been very good friends. We had been mentors to each other with different aspects of the business. We would meet up.
I don't see him as often as I see you, and he's really a terrific guy.
Yeah. So we came together and decided to just name the company Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And we've been together over the last 6 years. We have approximately 17. By the end of next week, we'll have 20 agents on our team. And we just enjoying real estate right now.
And a couple platinum albums.
It's
amazing. It's amazing you find time for all that.
I agree.
Touring, selling houses.
I'm reading your card here, and it says, we guarantee to sell your home in 90 days, and I got to go around the corner, or you don't pay me, it's free. Talk about that program a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. Back when the market was more challenging, it was very difficult to take those homes and sell them in 90 days. Now, not so much. And so basically the theory behind it is that we put in a lot of upfront work with our network of realtors that we do business with often to do much like Hillary said. We do a lot of pre-selling your property, exactly, even before we put it on HAR. So with that taking place, it's very easy to move it within that 90-day
Well, that's a pretty bold move, by the way.
We're okay
put your money where your mouth is,
so,
basically.
So far, we were 100% on it, so we're good.
Wow.
Talk about you have a niche that you work. You live in Pearland, is that correct?
I do.
Okay, and so do you do a lot of business down in Pearland? Because your office is on the Loop.
Yes, we're right there. So we do a lot of our farming in between the medical center and the Pearland area, and a little bit of Bel Air as well. But for the most part, we do business all over. We have we do a lot of business with probate attorneys. Okay. So a large amount of the properties that they get from their estates are all over the city, and we have a lot of agents that we have relationships with on the outskirts, like Beaumont, that we send business to as well to keep us busy.
And so, what's driving Pearland right now?
You know, I would say the 15-minute commute to the city.
Come on. I've been on 288. It's not 15 minutes.
You lied.
Don't start lying to me now.
No, it's about 15-minute commute, and I think that makes it so much easier.
He's staying with
for
it.
Our people, yes. For people to get to downtown Houston, I think that's what's making it so popular. That's right.
Well, I only go to work at 2 a.m.
Let's get that quicker than Katie. How about that?
I remember reading a Houston Chronicle article years ago, and it said that 288 was the most underused highway in the Texas or the Houston area, and I'm thinking that didn't last long because it would happen. And I often end up a couple times a year we would be down in Pearland selling because the medical center has gotten so prohibitively expensive that Silver Lake and some of the master plan areas down in Pearland seem to be a great alternative. So are you seeing a lot of medical?
It is, and I would say that's the largest body of people that are living there. You even find a few students that get there in May and April when they get their residencies. Usually the Pearland area is where they're moving to because, I mean, most of the units, the lease units as well as the purchase townhouse and condo units in the medical center area are gone. You know, people are able to afford them nowadays, and so they're staying gone. And then people are finding if they have pets and kids, and Houston is a great destination, they're moving to Pearland where they can get more money for the square footage.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I did sell a little condo over in the medical center this year, so there's still some affordable housing close in. I
totally agree.
But it's usually small condominiums, and if you wanted a yard or something like that, you do have to go elsewhere, or have to dig down deep in your pockets.
That's right.
And Hillary could probably say that, you're probably talking, if you want to be close to the medical around Holcomb and those areas, you're probably, $1 million plus to get in there. And I can remember a day that wasn't. Of course, I am OMR, Old Man Rob.
Your rap name.
Well, Danny Frank just texted me on the 15-minute commute. Okay, and he says I call BS on that.
It's downtown. It's very easy commute. We have back streets. How about that?
Danny, you're welcome to call in and give your opinion. That's 800-808-5548. So feel free to call. And
it feels like 15 minutes in the back of the limo.
That's what it is. It does. So.
Actually, that one time, I will say, by Dimensions by Dan, when we were coming in from the Woodlands, all of a sudden I looked up and we were at our location. So when you are being driven like that, yes,
It's
15
easy not
minutes
to pay
goes fast.
attention. That's right.
It goes quickly.
Shameless plug for Dimensions by Dan.
Well,
Yes.
we want to keep. We're doing a like kind with Dimensions by Dan, and he does a great job. And so,
Yes.
Yes.
we want to make sure we do a shout out for him. So,
If you ever want to impress a client, definitely call Dimensions by Dan. He's awesome.
okay, he's got enough now.
For only 99.
So
no.
15 minutes, huh?
15 minutes. Get you right in the medical center area, downtown Houston. Very easy.
He's just staying on. I like a guy that stays on message. He's like,
Absolutely.
I don't care what Danny Frank says. I am just staying on message at 15 minutes.
Now, Danny,
Danny lives in Pearland.
Now, Danny, what he was really meaning though is that it's usually a Sunday morning between the hours of 8 and 8:15. Just FYI.
Yeah. There was no promise of when that 15 minutes was happening.
Right.
Is there any new big projects coming up in that Pearland area?
Well, they have a lot of new home builders that are out there.
Either
So-
our producer is giving glory to God, or we've got 1 minute.
Okay.
And so, with there's so many new projects going on in the Pearland area, and the growth is, it's not. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. So, a lot of builders that are going to be out there. And I know, Chris, when we were speaking earlier, you're going to be out with Trend Makers later. So
Correct.
Yeah. So it's
We're going to send an invoice to Trendmaker now.
Right. But I do want to, when we get back after break, I want to talk to you about that, Larry, because one of the things Pearland has really experienced is there's been a huge amount of growth over the past 5-6 years.
Yes.
In regards to communities, in regards to 288 going down south, and so I want you to describe me a little bit of what's going on down there, some of the new communities that are coming up, some of the great opportunities. I mean, Rob and I were actually at a grand opening the other day. Let me tell you, that town center right there, that Pearland Town Center, was one of the nicest centers I think I have ever been in any one of the town centers in Houston. So again, we're up against a break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Of me and a whole lot of you. Add a dash of starlight and a dozen roses too. Then let it rise for 100 years or two. And that's a recipe for making love.